So I've been living in the UK for a bit over a year now, and I have accumulated a fair few cookbooks to add to my collection. A lot of them I'm probably going to have to get rid of to ship back and recollect at another time. So the new ones, the newish looking ones, I will probably donate because there's a lot of weight in all of this. But I think the best thing about it is that these books are cheap as chips over here. Like, holy crap, they are so cheap. And shipping, at the most, you're paying like £4. In Australia, if you're wanting to get one of these books specifically shipped over, you would have been paying at least $30, so £15-ish. So it's just crazy to me that I can snipe one of these on eBay for about £3-4, shipping £3-4, and I've just got it just like that. It's here in 2 days, not 2 weeks, 2 months. It just appears and I've got it, and it costs basically nothing. Honestly, I'm going to spend more trying to ship all these back to Australia than I did when I was buying them in the first place. These things are just everywhere and they're so affordable. It's actually insane to me. But I have expanded my collection, which I'm going to show you. So I've organised the old ones by time period, and then this is just more like a little bit of retro, and then the new ones, which I will have to rebuy later, unfortunately. But let's start from the beginning. So this one, it's got a tissue bookmark because I started logging it in my my recipe software. But this one is a proper new book of cookery, which is a Tudor cookbook that has been typed up. And it was, let's see, written by Matthew Parker, who was in Cambridge in 1544 to 1553. He wrote this book in 1557 and was used by his wife. There's a very big introduction and a lot of history to it. All these bits of paper falling out. This one I got off of Amazon, I think, actually. Another thing that's crazy to me, Amazon, so accessible over here. It's not expensive. Everything turns up the next day. I can't comprehend it. Amazon is like something we do not use back home because it's not worth it. It's too expensive. Shipping takes too long. There's literally no point. But here, Amazon is amazing. I've gotten so much stuff off Amazon. But if you look, no, that's where I was up to. They've got pictures of the original pages, and then it's typed up on the other side. There's a fair few recipes in here. I want to say at least 30-40 recipes, which is decent for something this old. So that's one I'm very happy with having picked up. I think it was one of the first things I actually found when I discovered Amazon. This one is also a Tudor, well, it's more Elizabethan. I picked this one up at a antique bookshop in London. Paid probably more for it than I should have, unfortunately, but I didn't think I'd see it again, and then I did see it again, so I kind of wish I'd bought it cheaper somewhere else. Eleanor Fetterplace's receipt book, because they called recipes receipts back then, but this is Elizabethan country house cooking, which also has a massive bloody introduction, because all of these typed up books have huge introductions. And this one doesn't have pictures like the other one did, but what it does have is they type up the recipe the way it was written in the book, and then they pull it apart and explain it in modern terms, so you can try and do it like that. But there's actually a lot in this. It's sorted by month, which I found was very interesting. Seasonal recipes. This one is my newest acquisition, and I'm very, very happy about it. It turned up yesterday. Sniped it on eBay for £20. I thought it was going to be a lot more expensive the way the bidding was going. I managed to win. Only £20 plus like £4 shipping. So happy. I would have paid more for this. This is a rebound copy of a 1700s edition, 8th edition, of The Art of Cookery Made Plain and Easy by Hannah Glass. I have wanted this book since I was 19. I am so happy I've got it. So it's been rebound quite nicely, very solidly. It's missing part of the index, which honestly, I mean, not the contents, not the index. So the contents start with chapter 8, but I don't mind because the actual contents of the book are fully here. These are the original pages from the 1700s. This is insane to me. And just the texture of the pages. Like, you can feel the difference in texture. It's actually amazing. But like, look at this. It is so amazing. £20. That's nothing. You would pay $100 on eBay in Australia for a book from like 1904. And here they've got things kicking around from 300 years ago for nothing, literally nothing. There was actually a copy of the, what's it called? But it's like a biblical text. Book of Common Prayer, that's it. Book of Common Prayer from the 1730s that was on a website for £40, and I was eyeballing it, thinking about it, wanting to get it. I wish I got it because I went to go buy it the next day and it was gone. I was spewing. I was absolutely spewing. But this is now officially the oldest book in my collection. Like, it's so old. You can feel in the pages the texture of this. It's very it's like those notebooks you get at pop-up stalls that are like leather bound, cheap Chinese crap, but they use the old-fashioned method of making paper where you can really feel the weave of the paper and the thickness of it. You can feel that here, and you can see just the age spots in the pages. You can feel the grain of the paper. It's actually amazing, and I'm so happy I got this. And then we jump ahead about 100 years. I picked this up in Bath at the Jane Austen gift shop at Jane Austen, I think it was Jane Austen's house. Her house in Bath, where they've got that museum. I got this from the gift shop. For myself, but also for my mother, because she's really into Jane Austen, and it's just mainly a tea time type book. So lots of baked things, which isn't not so much my area, but it is my wife's area. She's got a talent for baking that I just do not understand. She throws things in and somehow the chemistry works out and it turns out perfectly, even though she's not trying. I try and bake something and I fuck it up and I follow the recipe to the T. So that's more for her. And then we've got one that I don't remember where I picked it up, just from a secondhand bookshop somewhere. But this one is the Victorian Kitchen, which has a lot on Victorian techniques, how they use their kitchen tools. And it really it's more of an informational book than a recipe book, but it really breaks down how they did things, which I thought was a really cool thing to have. And because I had seen this book before when I was in Wales, in a bookshop, and I was eyeballing it, but this bookshop, it was too bloody expensive. Because its whole thing is, it's in that town in Wales that's known for selling books, Hay-on-Wye, I think it's called. And obviously because it's known for selling books, the books are going to be fucking expensive. So I had seen this one there. I took a photo of it, because if I see books and I can't justify buying them at the time, I will take photos and come back to them later if I can find them really cheaply online. But I found this one in an op shop over closer to home and picked that one up. So I'm glad I got it. This one I am also very, very, very pleased about. This is another eBay snipe. This is an 1800s edition of Modern Cookery by Eliza Acton. It's got some paint damage. I am going to look up and see if there's a way that I can safely try and lift it without damaging the spine too much, because this is the original binding. It's a beautiful textured embossed spine. You can see all these fowl and wild game just all textured on the spine. It's absolutely gorgeous. I've also wanted Eliza Acton since I was about 19 and I was meaning to pick up a copy. Oh yes, here it is, sorry. Modern Cookery by Eliza Acton, published 1863, rebound in 1889. There is also a piece of paper of current news inside, dated 1865. I think it's tucked in one of the pages somewhere. Oh yes, this is the original receipt from when it was rebound. I got this for like £15 off eBay. Again, like £5 shipping. insane to me. But this is the original receipt from when it was rebound. This is definitely 1800s page texture, which is very, very thin, very different to the 1700s, which is way thicker. 1800s pages were just a lot thinner in how they feel. You can definitely smell the age of the book too. This one has a smell to it. The next couple ones, well, this one I got on eBay for like £5, which someone's done a home job of rebinding out of bits of cardboard, old book spine and some fabric, and they've just resewn the name of the book, Every Family's Cookery Book from 1864. I'm going to try and rebind this one more nicely, because a lot of these ones do need it, and I want to learn how to do that and just give them something a bit more solid, because this is not solid at all. It's quite fragile. But this one has handwriting in the front, and it's a little tiny almanac type thing, but also full of recipes and instructions. So just a cheap little find that I'm happy I got. This one I got from Hay on Wye, and I just could not leave behind. It doesn't even have a cover. It's in a plastic box. It's from 1821, The New System of Domestic Cookery. And this is in actual pieces. It doesn't even have the strings along the spine. It's in pieces. So this one, I bought it because I had to save it. I had to save it. I won't be able to do it till I get home and acquire all the supplies for it, because there's no point in me buying all the bits and pieces to rebind these books if I can't keep them to do it, keep the supplies to do it again later down the track. It's just a waste of money. There's no point. But it's a great book. Just a usual informational book. So worth it. It's very delicate though, and it's going to be one hell of a job to rebind. And this box I'm not a fan of, because it's the most annoying box to try and slide it into, so I've taken it out about twice. And I've had this for 9 months or so. This was the first book I acquired when I was over here, which I found in an antique shop in Oxford. A 30s edition of Mrs. Beeton. It is hefty. It is easily the heaviest thing I have. And it's got all the old ads and the glossy pages you get from the turn of the century sort of publications. The odd glossy black and white page in between the regular pages. This is a beast. These are all eBay finds, just cheap little ones. We've got Mrs. Marshall's Cookery Book, vaguely 1800s. I don't think it had a date from memory. Yeah, no date. I mean, probably somewhere, I'd just have to dig for it, but vaguely 1800s. Standard cookery book. Warren's Model Cookery and Housekeeping Book, which I believe was for an appliance. These ones are normally distributed for the purpose of appliances, and they're full of ads and everything. Actually, maybe not. Maybe it was just a brand, because it's advertising a Brown and Green's portable cooking stove in the front. And that's how this one's laid out. This one is falling to pieces. A lot of the pages are loose. Nelson's Home Comforts. This one's really tiny. Again, a couple of pounds. The 17th edition, revised and enlarged. Some ads in the front. 1896 this one's from, and it is enlarged. It's got quite large font for the time. Plain Cookery Recipes by Thomas Nelson and Sons. It's got handwriting in the front. The Edinburgh Book of Plain Cookery Recipes, from the Edinburgh School of Cookery and Domestic Economy, which was founded in 1875. So you could roughly date this book to maybe 10-20 years after, at me hedging a guess. By the feel of it, I'd actually say this is probably turn of the century, by the binding style and how it feels. This is from the Wide World Library. It's Domestic Cookery by a Lady, Mrs. Rundle, which also has very faded handwriting in the front. And the writing in this is absolutely tiny. Absolutely bloody tiny. It's nearly impossible to read, that's how little it is. We're hitting about the 1900s now. So this is the modern cook. The spine is completely detached from the actual pages. I bought this to rebind it and save it. It is absolutely falling to pieces. It's this kind of loose, so I can't really show that one very easily. This one's from about, I want to say 1906 or something like that from memory. Not sure off the top of my head. This one I got for Christmas. One of the girls I worked with in Oxford got me this for Christmas, which is Grandma's Little Black Book of Recipes, which is scanned and typed up just recipes from someone's cookbook in 1910, which I really like. It's really cool. It's only got a couple recipes in it, but it's just a nice little thing to have. And I like that it shows the original pages. This one I bought because I just thought it was really cool. So this is the Best Way Cookery Gift Book, which is about from, can't remember if it was 30s or 40s. It's something about the vibe is giving 40s, I think. It's not quite 50s to me. I want to say between the 30s and 40s, just with the style of the pictures as well. But I just thought it was really cool the way it was laid out. It's different. It's not like a lot what you see. Oh, this one. This is someone's handwritten recipe book from the 50s. Again, another eBay snipe. Got it really cheap. I'm so glad I got it. Like, it is so faded on this first page, but you get further into it, it's quite loose. But this thing is entirely handwritten. This is something real special. This book I have wanted ever since I started getting into historical cooking, because every Yankee on every forum has this book, and it was so expensive to try and get in Australia. This I got for about £3 plus shipping, which was about £3. Basically nothing I got this for, and I would have forked over at least $70 trying to get it in Australia. I am so happy to have this, and I think it's just so cool. And I've just been looking at it for years and years and years, since I was about 18 or 19, and just desperately wanting a copy but not being able to justify it. It's just, it's so retro. And now I get to see what all the fuss is about, because anyone who collects cookbooks has this in their collection. I'll skip these ones because they don't quite fit just yet, but I just want to show you this one. Now this one is very special. I went to the Marilyn Monroe exhibition in London a couple months back. I don't remember when it was. Might have been January, December or something. Whenever that was, they had a copy of the cookbook she was gifted when she married her first husband. And that was this cookbook, the Household Searchlight Recipe Book. And I got the same edition. I found it for basically nothing, like £8. And it is similar. Oh, this actually has stuff taped into it. Don't know what kind of glue they used. That was odd. This was gifted to Ruth in 1948. But I like how it's indexed with all these little tabs. I thought that was very interesting. And I'm just very happy to have something of the same effect that she had. So this is very special. It's in really good nick too. I'm just getting on to a couple of the newer things. So when I travel, I really like to collect the tourist shop recipe books that are basically worth absolute shit, but I love to collect them. So I scored a lot in Hungary. So just these little ones at in little tourist trap shops. They're all in either Spanish or Italian, so I'm going to translate them and tape in the translated pages. There's another one, that one's in Italian. I have an easier time translating Italian than most others, so it's not too bad. Because most of them were either in Italian, French, Spanish, or Hungarian, obviously. So not many English ones, because I guess they all get bought. So I bought the Italian ones, because they would be easy enough to translate and figure out. And then also in that same vein, I've also got, I picked this one up in Wales, Traditional Welsh Cooking. It's quite a solid little book, actually. decent amount of pictures too. And also a load of these little paper ones. This was a set of 4. So we've got Welsh bread, Welsh bakestone cookery, country pudding and pies, country cakes and buns. And they're just little pamphlet type things. These ones I can add to my collection of these I already have at home. I had to really pick and choose because there's a lot of them out there, and some of them just I saw no point in getting. But we've got favourite country days recipes, seasonal events, just a couple recipes, but easy little books. Devonshire recipes. I didn't realise that the English ones were actually divided into all the different counties instead of just English, like they do with Scottish, Irish and Welsh. So that's for Devonshire. And favourite recipes with beer and cider, which I thought was interesting. The last couple ones I have are more retro than antique. So 60s, 70s, I just thought they were cool and wanted to get. So I've got the Good Housekeeping cookery book. I've also got one about preserves tucked under here. Home Preserving and Bottling by Gladys Mann. These ones I actually picked up in a church in just the charity section. With the honesty section where you just leave a couple coins, take a book. The Best of Good Housekeeping, which I think is from the 70s. Eat Better, Live Better is definitely from the 70s. And then these ones are all new. And that's also just a cat cookbook I got for when I get home. So these I will probably donate and try and pick up again somewhere cheaper. This one maybe not, because it seems impossible to get that relatively cheaply back home. Like even secondhand, they will crank up the price. It's actually fucking stupid. But that's Australia for you. They will extort any amount of money for the smallest thing, especially in secondhand shops. And then all the other old ones you'll see here are not cookbooks, they're just other bits and bobs. So I got some 40s gardening pamphlet books for my mum, and a couple of needlework books actually. This one's from the 20s, which I thought was really cool. I got that for about £8 at the op shop down the road. It's a solid book too. It's got a lot of pictures and instructions. Not a lot of pictures for the time, but it's not too bad for the 20s. Like, it does a decent job explaining. And then this other one here, the Encyclopedia of Needlework, which is actually gold embossed, but it's a reprint of a really old publication. But yeah, that's just a little update on what I've collected. I've collected a few other bits and bobs that aren't cookbooks as well, that I'll probably take home with me just to keep. But that's my little update.